Hi, my friends. I've got my no hate sign up there behind me. I just wanted to share a little bit of a rant, I guess. The past couple of weeks have been pretty rough, kind of interesting. My accounts are growing. NakedPastor is getting more and more popular. What's really cool about that, on the one hand, is that I'm helping more and more people. Uh, Tap into their courage to go against the flow and to no longer conform to the status quo and to get in touch with their freedom and to live and experience their own freedom in their own lives and find the courage to do that. And I'm hearing from people all over the world, and it makes me very happy to know that people out there are realizing that they're not crazy, that what they want is legitimate, and that their journey is valid and their choices are valid, and that they're not alone, that there's a lot of people like us who are independent thinkers, who no longer want to conform and who want to live free, but still want to be in community, but authentically ourselves. And so I'm so happy that my work is doing that, my cartoons and my writing and so on. On the other hand, though, because it's getting more and more trolls, hateful trolls, are crawling out from under their slimy rocks and coming at us with all of their hatred and all of their stupidity. Now, you might ask me, what do I mean by stupid? I'm going to get to that. Now, it's like with my Instagram account or with my Facebook or whatever, people come on and they're all mostly believers. And I get anything from, super syrupy concern, I love you in the Lord and I'm just here because I want to save you from hell. And I'm so concerned, that Jesus would never love LGBTQ people, and Jesus would never march in a Black Lives Matter movement, and Jesus would never elevate women to the same place as men, and on it goes, right? And all out of this, sort of spiritual some concern for your soul. I'm here to help. I'm not preaching. This isn't me. This is God, And so there's that, which is on the one hand, still painful and ignorant, but not violent in one way. But then I get it all the way to the other side of things, where I actually have to report comments because they're threatening me with cutting my head off with a knife, dragging me out and hanging me from the nearest tree with a rope, or wait till I find out what your address is, and I'm going to find you, and all this kind of stuff. Believers, yeah, Christians, yep, wonderful, praise God. So I've had a hard time, actually. It's been a couple times where I thought, boy, wouldn't it be great to live on a cabin without electricity in the middle of nowhere on the lake, and just, draw and paint and draw and write, and, ride to the nearest town once a month for supplies and mail off my manuscripts to whoever. But that's not realistic, because the first reason I mentioned, me helping people, is what keeps me going. So I plan on staying. I'm not going anywhere. I ain't going nowhere. And that's my promise. I'm going to stick around and keep stirring up the waters, encouraging people on the one hand, pissing people off on the other. Because that seems to be the way things work. So I said ignorance and stupidity a couple times. I think the Bible was right where it says perfect love casts out fear. I do think that the opposite of love isn't hate, but fear. And I've been thinking a lot about this because, I see it every day. I see hate every day. I get hate every day. Perfect love casts out fear. Because what is hate based upon? I think hate, the root of hate, is fear. We hate what we are afraid of. And ignorance. We are afraid of things we don't understand. When we have nightmares and we get afraid, it's because we don't understand the language. It's because we don't understand what's going on in the dream. When we see something we don't understand and it feels threatening to us, we feel fear because we don't understand it. We're ignorant. We fear death because we're ignorant about death. That it's really not anything except a blip. But because there's so much mystery around it and darkness around it and ignorance around it, we are afraid of it. I think that's how it happens, is ignorance, fear, and then because we're afraid, we hate it. Right? The first symptom that we see, the first expression or the first manifestation we see when I post a gay cartoon, what somebody called, I do too many gay cartoons. Let's say I post a gay cartoon. I don't know what a gay cartoon is. No cartoon is gay. It might be about gays. Let's say I post a gay cartoon. And somebody's immediate reaction is, I'm going to cut your head off. You're a blasphemer and a heretic, and I'm going to take the sword of the Lord, and that kind of hatred. But what's behind that is fear. Fear of whatever. They don't understand it. Ignorance. They don't understand it. And part of that, like the ignorance and the stupidity. I had somebody come on my timeline today and say that gay people can't have kids. Well, I know a lot of gay people who have kids. There's many ways of having kids. Ignorance. It's just ignorance. And some people come on my timeline and like they see Jesus marching with Black Lives Matter or Jesus with gay people, and they're like, what's this? What in the world is this? Like they've never seen it before, never considered it before. They're completely ignorant of the possibilities that it's okay to be gay because they've been conditioned to believe otherwise. Most of these people that have come on have been taught, and I'll dare say, they've all been taught that LGBTQ is wrong, it's sinful, it's unnatural, it goes against God's law, there needs to be punished, they cannot be saved, they're going to hell. The only way they can go to heaven is by converting and being straight and getting married and having kids. Ignorance. It's just ignorance. Stupidity. I'm not reaching into Buddhism for this teaching, although Buddhism talks a lot about ignorance as the root of suffering. Ignorance. A lot of these people, so a part of me feels a lot of sympathy for these idiots who have never thought an original thought. I can hear their pastors in their voices. I can hear their upbringing in their voices. I can hear their conditioning in their comments. They've been conditioned. They're like dolls with drawstrings that spout off little preachy things that they have, it's never gone through the filter of their own intelligence. They're spouting off formulas and cliches that they've learned since growing up. And they all sound the same. They all sound identically the same. They all come from the same factory of ignorance and stupidity and religion. And, so part of me feels a little bit of sympathy for these people who are, when they come at me, I feel so bad for you. You're going to go to hell. I'm here to help you. I'm here to rescue you. I feel sympathy for that person. Even the person who says, you're a blasphemer and a heretic, I need to kill you now. I even feel sympathy for that person because they're so ignorant. It's so stupid to think that way. But they've been conditioned to think that way. Not only are they stupid, but they have been trained to be stupid. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm using stupid as ignorance and ignorance as uninvestigated, unexamined thoughts. We all have unexamined thoughts. And that kind of ignorance, that kind of conditioning is the root of our suffering. Unfortunately, they're suffering in their ignorance and in their darkness. They think we're in ignorance and darkness for being queer or whatever, or believing that being queer is okay. But they're in their ignorance and they're in their darkness because they're essentially cutting themselves off from the love of millions and millions and millions of people and the fellowship of millions of people, and considering themselves superior to millions of people on this planet. They are the ones who are cutting themselves off from love and from fellowship. They think they are, banning people from God or from grace or from love, when in fact they're doing it to themselves. How ignorant is that? How stupid is that? So I feel some pity. I feel some sympathy for these people, from the most naive and well-intentioned to the most violent. These people need help. They need to examine their thoughts. They need to realize that they've been trained to think the way they are thinking and to speak the way they are speaking. They've been conditioned. And that is the root of their suffering. You can hear the suffering in their voices. Can you imagine waking up every morning thinking there are people that you need to hurt and shame and even destroy for the sake of your God? Can you imagine that? For some of us, we have to wake up every morning realizing that we're going to get shamed or, some kind of persecution or some kind of rejection or marginalization for who we are, whether we're queer or black or women or First Nations or something else. Something else. They'll figure out something else to reject people for. Ignorance does that. So that's just my rant to you today. That it just goes to show what ignorance can do. Ignorance can not only build an entire religion upon hate, it will shame people, hurt people, and even destroy people. This last week, people have been sending me all kind of screenshots of my cartoons that have been stolen. My name's been erased from the cartoon, and they've altered the cartoon. So, for example, it shows one with Jesus with an LGBTQ sheep, a rainbow sheep, and sheep with black faces above. By the way, those are Suffolk sheep. White sheep with black faces are Suffolk sheep. It's a kind of sheep that are popular in these parts where I live. And I draw them just because they're easy to draw and they have a lot of expression, and it makes it easy to make a good cartoon with a white sheep with a black head. Suffolk. Suffolk. So, and they're angry that Jesus is being friends with this rainbow sheep, and the rainbow sheep says, "I wasn't lost, it was that I wasn't fully welcomed." So now, somebody sent me a screenshot today of this sheep, where all of the sheep above now, they don't have black faces anymore, they're all white faces. I don't know why they did that, they should, I don't know why. Some kind of racism, I don't know why. And then it shows the rainbow sheep where Jesus is touching the rainbow sheep with a cloth and wiping away the rainbow. And the sheep is becoming white. And the sheep is asking for forgiveness and repentance and thanking Jesus for cleansing him from all his sin and making him white as snow and all that bullshit. And you know what? I can't keep up with all that. I'd need a full-time, whole office of lawyers to keep up with all this theft that goes on. And you know what? These are believers. These are Christians who steal and alter my art. And they're doing it with other people. I'm sure they must be. And threaten me and my family and all my gay friends and all my transgender friends and all my bisexual friends and my black friends and my women friends and you name it. These Christians, these believers, and they might be believers from other religions too, they feel they have the right to hurt other people because they're ignorant. They're stupid. They think unexamined thoughts. They don't even think, actually. They spout, repeat, regurgitate everything they've been taught, everything they've been trained, everything they've been conditioned to think and say. So I just try to remember that when I do my work. They're not stronger than I am. They're weaker. They're stupider. And they don't get loved by the diversity of people that I'm loved by. And they don't get to love the diversity of people I love. And I'm fortunate to have so many different kinds of friends in my life. From all races and colors and creeds and sexualities and orientations and genders and non-creeds. I love it. I love it. And I think that's the way the world should be. I think wisdom opens up our world with love. And I think ignorance confines our world to a hateful few. I think that's all I have to say. So, I'm going to stay in the game, and I'm going to keep encouraging those who will be encouraged by what I do, and I will keep pissing off people who get pissed off with what I do. I guess that's what I'm here for. I love you guys. I love you all. Some people don't like it when I say guys. It's like a very Canadian thing. Guys is generic. I love you all, my friends. I really, really do. And I really care about you. My heart breaks for you. I'm just a friend and an ally. And try to be an ally. And I'm called an ally. I try not to call myself an ally. I let people do that to me. And I have a hard time. So I can't even imagine what you as a black person or a person of color or a brown person or a First Nations person or a woman or an LGBTQ person. Oh, I can go out there and just, sail through my life, and you guys have to navigate rapids like every frickin' day. And so anyway, just know I love you and I'm on your side, and I'm doing what I can to make the world a more beautiful and safe place for me and for you. Love you.